So how many of you are ready to share in another wonderful success story? I've got a fantastic one that's been shared by a client of mine. She went through quite a tumultuous journey, as they all do. I'm sure I always say that about every single journey. But this is for those of you who might be going through a tough time, who need a bit of support. Maybe you just need that comfort to know that your circumstances don't matter. Do you have an issue with third party in the way? Gosh, another blocker in the way of this. I can never have what I want. Maybe there's an issue with distance or perhaps no contact with your SP, where you're thinking, well, how are we going to contact? How are we going to cross paths? There's no connection. Maybe it's been silent for a couple of months, a couple of years, like in my client's case. And perhaps your SP told you that they're not interested in you. They don't have feelings for you. They're not attracted to you. Is this you? Are you going through something similar, if not the same? This is what my client had to contend with. This is what she did to turn things around. This is her bridge of events. So do stay tuned till the end, and I will share with you what we did, how we turned all of this around together. But first up, I'll introduce myself. If you're new to this channel, I'm Athena Raven. I'm a mental health and manifestation life coach, and I'm here to empower and inspire you on this often tough manifestation journey. So if you are enjoying the content and you're finding it helpful, I appreciate you helping this channel out by liking and subscribing as well if you haven't done so already. Join us here regularly. I'm always posting out videos at least twice a week. And Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a hypnosis. It seems that you guys have spoken, and it's all about SP manifestation. But I'm going to try and incorporate as much as I can, because there were some great suggestions in there about concept of self, about being able to let go. I'm going to incorporate as much as I can to make this one of the juiciest hypnosis that I've ever made. So stay tuned. I'm going to do my best to get that done by Tuesday, because I've got some ideas. I might have to ask for Joseph's help because I have no idea when it comes to technology. So I do apologize. But let's get this story on the go. Grab yourself a hot drink if you haven't done so already, and make sure you've got the time to just chill and enjoy and take this in. Coco is also getting comfortable and ready too. You see, if you haven't done so already, this is what you need to be doing. So you need to be settling in like him. Look how cozy he is. He is ready for this success story. He's absolutely ready for it. That's it. He's ready. Are you ready? I know I'm ready. I think I've gone mad. It's a Friday feeling, isn't it? So my client's email starts, "Dear Athena, I hope this message finds you in great spirits. I'm reaching out because I simply have to share the incredible journey that I have been on, all thanks to your exceptional support. Before I met you, I felt completely stuck. Despite trying everything from various online courses to expensive personal coaching sessions and even therapy, nothing seemed to bring me any closer to my dream of finding true love. I was nearly ready to give up, but then I stumbled upon your channel, and it was like a light at the very end. It was like a light at the end of a very long tunnel. I know you requested for me to be detailed in my events, so I shall do my best, trying to contain my excitement as I write this to you, and still in disbelief at how things are unfolding. Okay, so I'm not at my end yet, marriage and a home together, but my bridge is unfolding in a way that I have no doubt that is where I shall be. I met my SP through my family's business. He was young and vibrant at only 25 years old and a little immature and unsettled, whereas me, being in my 30s, see another age gap situation, me being in my 30s, was a lot more settled in life and ready for commitment. I didn't get involved from the get-go because this guy seemed disinterested for a long time. Plus, he is working for the family business, and I was a stickler for never mixing business with pleasure. Well, I thought I was. So one evening after service concluded, we had encountered some issues which resulted in an impromptu staff meeting being held. I noticed that SP and I were bantering more following the tension of the meeting. I didn't know what to make of it, but we were laughing, flirting, and playful. A side I had not seen of him to this point, and I must admit it was very attractive. As we closed up and all left for home, I was walking and talking with SP, but he suddenly said that his girlfriend is coming to pick him up after work. Well, That ruined it. It was like a bucket of cold water thrown over me, which shocked me out of my schoolgirl crush state. I thought to myself, well, I knew it was too good to be true, and I left it at that. I know I sound chill, but about it, but trust me, I was annoyed. This is the pattern I have been encountering for the longest time. Guys that I don't like me, or the guys that I like are not available. With this guy, although we were suddenly being open and friendly, I couldn't tell if he was just being nice or if he sensed the same chemistry that I did. Of course, it didn't matter. He's got a girlfriend, so I just have to leave it. As we worked together, we would chat and see each other regularly, and I would try to keep it cool and professional. But of course, I couldn't suppress the ever-growing feelings inside. I talked to my friends about him and they would indulge me, but of course, they couldn't see a future in it and would tell me to move on, knowing that I wanted to settle down and have a family. Every time I spoke to my SP, he didn't seem anywhere near that stage of life. He would tell me about his weekend, partying, drinking, recreational drugs, raves. It wasn't my scene, and I could tell he was not right for me. But have you ever loved someone that you knew wasn't right? Like, you shouldn't like this person. Oh, like, you shouldn't like this person. Okay. You know that they don't match your ideal, but for some reason, it's like a moth to a flame magnetism. So that was me. And the more I tried to detach and to be a friend to him, the harder it was. I did date, of course, went on the apps, as we all do at some point, went on numerous dates with a bunch of guys, but none of them measured up to SP. Literally, it drove me mad because why do I even want this guy? He would be a nightmare to date with his party boy immaturity, and I would be too jealous and insecure to date someone younger with such a rampant social life. Are you kidding me? I just want the home life with my husband tending to kids or to our pets or something. So I started to inadvertently daydream about him kissing me. Fantasizing. I didn't know about the law at this point, but was something I would do just for fun. It felt good to go to bed imagining his warm arms around me and lips kissing me passionately. I fell asleep with a smile on my face, but I didn't know that I was creating at this point. I just forgot and I got on with my working day. Anyway, one day, SP comes to me being a bit extra with his flirtation. He was playfully grabbing me in the staff room, and I don't know what happened. It was all a blur, but he got me up behind the lockers where we keep our things during our shifts. It's a nice cozy nook where no one can see. And he kissed me. I'm not joking. He kissed me just like I imagined, and it felt amazing as I dreamt it would. My heart was pounding out of my chest and I wasn't expecting it. As he pulled away, he looked almost a little shocked at himself. He apologized and said he didn't know what came over him. I was speechless, but then I tried to kiss him again, to which he reciprocated. We were making out just like naughty kids at school behind the lockers. It's such a strange situation, so surreal. I remember thinking to myself the whole time I was kissing him, is this for real or am I dreaming this? The rest of that day was a blur. I can't remember much else as I think I was in a loving haze. I thought for sure after that passionate embrace, we would be set up for a relationship. But boy, I was wrong. Since then, things became weird and inconsistent. Some days, SP would be really distant with me, and some days, he was his flirty self. I tried to kiss him again, and he started to pull away, saying it was the wrong thing to do. I let it go, but I got impatient, asking him why he did what he did and wanting to know what he feels for me. I didn't know where I stood, and this left me in a spiral as I was drowning in my insecurities. I think I was so frustrated, not only at him, but myself. After all, why did I want someone who didn't fit my ideal? Why did I place him up on the pedestal? Why did I want someone who has a girlfriend? Of course, I let my insecurity and frustration take over. Texting him, badgering him at work, chasing him, ensuring that our shifts would match up. I thought maybe if he spent some time with me, he might fall for me and leave his girlfriend. But no matter what I did, buying him gifts for his birthday, offering him rides home, even though it was way out of my way, lending him money when he was in a bind, I literally think I was proving my worth to him, but it was going unnoticed. I then told myself, I then told him about my feelings for him. I told him how I couldn't get him out of my mind since that kiss, and I asked him if he felt the chemistry. He looked at me almost with pity and told me that he was sorry to give me the wrong impression, that I was not his type, that he appreciated me as a friend, but that he was not attracted to me at all and that he loved his girlfriend. He couldn't explain the kiss, and he said it was like he was possessed, and that perhaps he was in a bad headspace and he regretted his action. Ouch. That really hurt me at the time, and I couldn't forget it for the longest time. Well, you can imagine how I felt after this rejection. I couldn't believe that he wasn't attracted to me, but then I was confused, and in my hurt, I started to resent him. It was my friend who talked to me about the law. I didn't know anything about it, and when I started looking into it, I was astonished. I realized how I had manifested a lot of things in my life, as well as the kiss with SP. It all became clear. So I did the usual, saturating myself with techniques and coaching and content, but I still didn't see change. And if anything, it was getting worse as he started talking about how he was looking for a new job because he was wanting to start his own business. I didn't want him to go, but by this time, months and months of this battle with hot and cold, I felt that maybe it was the best thing for him to do. Leave, and then maybe I can forget you and move on. So in the end, he left the family business, and I was devastated. Work was not the same, but I couldn't leave the business, and so I kept on in the hope that I would meet my ideal man. I kept dating, and I even met someone who was lovely, reflecting to me a lot of the words and behavior that I wanted from my SP. But I just couldn't get SP out of my mind despite this, so that relationship was unfortunately short-lived. I would wonder what he was up to. I would wonder if he was missing me, and I did try to find him online just to have a sneaky peek, but I couldn't find him. I didn't want to text him for fear of his girlfriend seeing, but even then I caved and I messaged him a couple of times, but each time seemed to be undelivered. Was I blocked? Maybe. So 2 years roll by, and despite my efforts, I'm still single and I'm getting a little bit more desperate as I am getting older and I'm still not married with a family. As a woman, I had the additional fear of the old biological clock ticking, but any relationships I had, they all failed. I forgot about the law at this point, and I had gone back into my old ways. But I did find myself browsing the internet, looking for ways to find love, to change my life, and I ended up coming back to the law. I decided to immerse in it again and actually learn what it was about. I watched many coaches, including you, Athena, and as Athena resonated with me the most, I decided to work with her and find out what happened. Why did I manifest the kissing so easily without knowing the law, but I couldn't manifest the relationship? Why, when I started doing techniques, did things just get worse? I don't even know where SP is at this point, and we lost contact completely. Was my case a lost cause? So after our first WhatsApp session, I felt a light bulb moment. I was in desperation with little clarity, forcing imaginal acts, which meant that I was in a state of anxiety and waiting constantly, fighting and pushing the 3D to get answers from him, to get him to like me. But I didn't change, so neither did he. Coaching with you, Athena, gave me the support and the guidance I needed in real time, which was something I had never experienced before. The sessions were tailored to my needs, and boy, did I have a lot of them. I could see now why I kept having the same repeated patterns with relationships. I could see now how my self-worth made me not chosen and not the priority of men I dated. I could see how my dad working in the military meant that I didn't have regular emotional support as a child from a male figure, and so I saw relationships with men as emotionally unstable, which left me feeling insecure in their presence. One of the most transformative aspects of your coaching for me, Athena, was the personalized hypnosis, especially inner child healing. I remember feeling a shift right away. It was as though I had tapped into a part of my mind that had been locked away, filled with potentials and possibilities that I hadn't seen before. But of course, the true magic unfolded shortly after one of our intense sessions. You would just help me work through a particularly tough limiting belief and help me to put to peace those words that he said about not being attracted to me. I felt lighter and more hopeful. I decided then and there that it was done, and it was done, it was enough, and that I was ready to let go. I felt detached from this outcome now. It's a very strange feeling to go from desperate longing for someone to almost, well, not caring so much. Don't get me wrong, I still thought of him. I still wanted him, but I wasn't longing for it or putting my life on hold for him anymore. I felt our paths would cross, and I was at peace enough to leave it be for the divine to bring this to a head. A week later, my best friend invited me out for a drink at the local bar. As luck or perhaps fate would have it, she had to cancel last minute because her child suddenly fell ill. I was already at the bar when I got her call, and I was about to head home when the most unexpected thing happened. My SP walked in. Now, I haven't seen this guy for almost 2 years at this point, and he had changed a lot. I almost didn't recognize him. He had this beard and this hair was longer, and it looked like he had been at the gym, and just overall, he looked more manly. He recognized me though, straight away, and came bounding over, all smiles and excitement. Thank God I was dressed up. He was full of compliments and stuck talking to me for hours, leaving his friends to hang without him. I was really surprised by this, and I asked him if he was worried that they would tell his girlfriend that he was chatting to another woman. He laughed and he told me that they broke up a while back, and he then proceeded to tell me that over the years he had been looking for me on social media, but he couldn't find me. Not surprising, as I don't tend to use my real name on social accounts. Plus, I'm not that much on social media in general. This surprised me though, and I said to him, "Why didn't you text or call me?" I wasn't in the mood to play games. I wanted to know why I was left in the dark and why my messages were not being delivered. He told me that he had to delete my number soon after he left the company, that he had felt so bad about cheating on his then girlfriend, but at the time he was so drawn in by me, he couldn't resist, hence being so hot and cold towards me. He said that in order to avoid the temptation, he deleted my number so that he wouldn't be tempted to contact when he was with her. Of course, his intention to make a good go of it with her fell apart, and by then he was searching for me online, but he couldn't find me. So strange to hear this, because he told me he wasn't interested in me, and now I'm hearing that it was quite the opposite. What happened here? I was so fascinated by what I was hearing. Was it because I revised it with Athena? Did I change the past? I thought I was nothing to him. Again, I wasn't chosen or important to him, when in fact, it wasn't the case. His silence was about me being too important to him, so much that he was going to risk his morals. Athena, you always told me not to judge 3D or let it run my life, my state. But wow, it was hard not to. I mean, how else would you translate years of silence and being told by your SP that he isn't attracted to you? So here he is in front of me now, reflecting my new beliefs, choosing me, making me feel important, knowing my worth, showing me that I was unforgettable to him and that he was actually thinking about me all this time. I felt like I was staring at a different person. Anyway, we spent a lot of the evening talking, exchanged numbers, and we've been chatting and going out ever since. Was it smooth? No, because on occasion I did find myself falling into old ways when he would go out to the odd rave and club and I was not invited. So he wasn't fully conformed, but he was very different to before. He did tell me that that lifestyle was no longer for him, and as the months have progressed, he has been going out a lot less. It's still early days in my eyes because the promise of something deeper is there. And it fills me with so much joy and hope as I continue to feel my end and allow this bridge to unfold. Ups and downs affect me less now. We have talked about the future and we want for the same things, which is great. It's like he needed this time to grow up and to mature to get to this point. He doesn't do drugs anymore, not even recreationally, and he owns his own business, so I feel a stability with him now, literally from boy to man in 2 years. I can't help but attribute this wonderful turn of events to the groundwork we laid during our sessions. Your coaching didn't just help me in getting my SP, it transformed how I see myself and my approach to relationships in general. I learned to value myself more, to see my desires as valid, and to understand that I am worthy of love. I even mended some broken bridges now with family members that I thought were damaged beyond repair, but it was my broken self-concept that kept me disconnected from them. To fix these relationships meant so much to me, as for the longest time I pretended not to have cared. I was holding the anger towards them, which made it easier to act like it didn't bother me, but without realizing that the anger was actually towards myself. This reconnection with my family meant so much, and it gave me security and peace that I didn't even know that I needed. Athena, I can't express enough gratitude for your guidance and your genuine care you've shown, your expertise not only in manifestation principles but also in practical psychological techniques has opened up a new world for me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for teaching me how to turn my dreams into my reality. I'm excited for what the future holds, and I look forward to updating you as my new relationship unfolds. Thank you once again for everything. You truly have a gift, and I'm lucky to have you as my coach. Warmest regards. Thank you so, so much, darling. So how did you guys find that? Have any of you been going through the same? I think for the most part, a lot of people struggle with past events. If your specific person has shown no interest in you, for example, maybe you had something before that showed there was a spark and then maybe it all broke down, or maybe you haven't had any inkling at all that they're interested. Maybe they've just downright said to you, I don't love you, I don't want to be with you. Remember that in order to experience that side of them, because everything is in existence now, right? Creation is finished. So in order to experience the side of them that is not interested, that doesn't love you, that isn't attracted to you, that means that the version of them that is attracted to you, that does love you, that is interested, is also in existence now. And what we're doing with our assumptions is we're tapping into that, we're focusing on that, we're turning the blinkers on, and we're disregarding what the 3D circumstances is showing us. The detachment is very key. It happens as a byproduct of having shifted your state of being. But the detachment from how this is going to happen, when is this going to happen, the detachment from putting your SP up on the pedestal and making them to be the only one that can make you happy, make you feel loved, make you feel secure and chosen. Remember, it's not up to them to do any of that stuff. You are finding that feeling within yourself, because the desire is already yours. You created the desire, you create the obstacles, but guess what? You can create the solution. Everything is within you. There's nothing outside. And this mirror of life is simply a projection, is simply for you to experience what you believe about yourself, what your concepts of self are. Change that and let the mirror reflect something different. Let the mirror give you a different experience, and the mirrors of your life, the people in your life, change and conform as well. Because she did really well. She had some broken bridges with family that was obviously affecting her a lot more than she realized, carrying a lot of hurt with her for the longest time, even being resentful towards SP because he had stated that he wasn't interested in her, and she kind of felt a bit used, I should say, with regards to that. So it's always like this common theme going on with a lot of my clients. Actually, I get this with a lot of them, that they either harbor this resentment or pain, or they can't get over the past experiences. Remember, if the past is really, really affecting you, revision is such a key tool. And I have a fantastic revision hypnosis that utilizes NLP practices as well, that you never find this. I have not seen this on anyone else's channel. I get so much success with it. If you're really, really struggling with your past, reframe it, change it, give it a different meaning. Because remember, everything's in existence now. Every timeline is in existence. Go to the timeline where your SP didn't say that they're not interested. Instead, it was the timeline where they said that they were interested. And depending how brave you're feeling, you can change the incident completely, or you can just go along with what happened, but reframing it, giving it a different meaning. Because I know some people feel a bit funny about revision and they feel like they're gaslighting themselves. But really, when you understand how this works and how reality is shaped based on your consciousness, you will not see it like that. You know, it doesn't work like that. So I really, really hope that this helped you guys out, that it was inspiring, that it's keeping you strong on this often painful journey. I want to hear how you're all getting on with your SP situations. What kind of movements you're experiencing, maybe some other success stories as well. It doesn't have to be related to SP. Share with me what you've been going through. Has the 3D been telling you no? Has it been stubborn to change? How have you turned it around? Let's revel in each other's success. I love and appreciate all of you for being here, and I'll see you all on Tuesday. Have a good weekend.